Hello, beautiful people. We're back Thursday night, February 5th, heading into Super Bowl weekend. I don't remember what I called this last year when I had Chef Bernard from Ocon. I called it like late night or after dark or something like that. I think we were recording at like 10 o'clock East Coast time because he was way out in Alaska sourcing some ingredients. And I kind of like that vibe, even though a lot of these get recorded like in the morning, morning and afternoon hours. I'm pretty excited about this one because it's like I said, Thursday night, a nippy Thursday night here in the Low Country, and we're headed into Super Bowl weekend, and which is obviously an eater's holiday. So before I waste any more time, I want to introduce tonight's guest on the Indulgent Hour, my buddy Campfire Tyler. What's up, bro?
Hey.
Good to see you, man.
What's happening, man?
Not much. So we've been talking about doing something for a while. We did do something, right? We did the soup de tour installment at CC's Honey Hole. Shout out to CC. I know she's out of the country right now dealing with some family stuff. So best wishes to her. But the girls are holding it down for certain, right? I noticed not like that. She had rolled out that full dinner menu that she was doing like 4 or 5, 6 nights a week. And then, this disruption came, but they're still doing like, I saw the chicken noodle soup, which you and I enjoyed. Yeah. They got that. And they've been doing, I think there was chili another night. So they're keeping the show moving along, which is great. You and I met up over there. We indulged in some of CC's homemade chicken noodle soup, which was awesome. But even more so than that, I just wanted to catch up with you, outside of that, because, and we joked before we jumped on, right, before we went live, that like, and I was thinking about this before. This is like, not that I didn't prepare, because I always prepare for some visuals and things like that, but this will be the easiest podcast that I've ever recorded, because that's you and I. That's usually what we do when we see each other is rap about food, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of practice.
Yeah, exactly. We got the reps in for sure. So I want to paint like the picture, an appropriate picture for those of you who are, and I know we're going to have a bunch of Campfire Tyler fans, watching, and in addition to our normal audience, but I want everybody to know that from my perspective, obviously I originally met Tyler because, he performs all over the place. Obviously he's a Beaufort guy, and there's a lot of, action up there for shows, but you do Bluffton, you do Hilton Head. So you're down here quite a bit. So that's, and I'm coming up on 5 years in April. I'll have been here. And I'm pretty sure that, I came out to see you, listen to you, just like I came out to see and listen to Jevin and all these other guys. All this, I can't remember who I was talking to a couple of weeks ago. It's just like a hotbed of like really talented musicians, 2 of which are on a jaunt up. And speaking of food, 2 of which are on a jaunt up in New York City. I don't know if you noticed that Derek and Martin are eating themselves around New York. I'm definitely very jealous of that little excursion.
Yeah, he went with the maestro too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So that's a great one. I'm glad that I included that, because Martin would probably be considered like the Yoda of foodie musicians, right? So yeah, for sure. So and obviously, so is Derek, and so is, and again, it's not just musicians. Obviously, comedians and other performers like Matt Stock, and we have a lot of like famous local foodies that are also very talented in various artistic endeavors. And so even though I personally am not, I have no artistic whatever you want to call it. I played saxophone, I think, when I was in like grammar school or something like that, maybe
Right.
into like middle school. And I was like, yeah, this ain't for me. But I love music, and I love, obviously all forms of entertainment. I'm surrounded by them in this room. But
Yeah, what do
I
you got
always
going
think
on
of,
back there? What are those trophies?
yeah, so we got those are like championship belts,
Oh,
like
hell yeah.
WWE championship.
Nice.
There's a couple trophies and little odds and ends mixed in there. It's stuff that I collected over a long period of time, and you're only seeing what's behind me.
Yeah.
In front of me is just
Realm.
Funko Pop like Palooza with a bunch of action figures, and I got quite a cool collection of actual like at one point. Of course, I'm not going to be able to think of the name of it, but at one point, this one illustrator was doing comic books, but they're all like WWE inspired comic book covers. So it's kind of a cool little crossover between the comic book world and my my wrestling lunacy universe. But I always think of Tyler as like, yes, obviously I focus on food content 100% of the time, just about 100% of the time, even though I like talking and BSing about other stuff occasionally on the podcast. But you and I kind of, you come, and so do the other guys that I mentioned, we come at it from the same angle with like the same energy and the same spirit, right? We love food. We love like where we live, and we want to support the people who feed us all of this incredible food. And it's almost like we feel like an inherent obligation to share that because we have an audience, right?
Correct.
We have a voice, right?
Yep.
And not necessarily your voice on stage, but your voice on stage is what gets you like it's what gets you that audience to talk about and interact with people on other and connect on other things. I always thought it was funny way back when I went to a autograph signing at a winery for Maynard James Keenan from Tool. And he was selling, of course, his wine, his Caduceus wines. He's got this winery out in Arizona. And you had a line wrapped around the building at like Gary's Wine in New Jersey. And they would only sign wine bottles. I tried to sneak in, one or two, like, things, one or a couple of Tool things that I had. They like took them and gave them back to you afterwards. And it was, don't get me wrong, it was a cool experience, but at the same time, he was there strictly to talk about his wine.
Right.
And I always thought that was kind of like, dude, all these people are here because they love you as a musician and they want to support your wine endeavor. Don't get me wrong. But the fact that, like, I think I asked him a question about a song or something, and he was just staring, like blankly, like staring at me. I was like, okay, I guess we're not getting into that today.
I've heard that about old Maynard. I've heard,
yeah. He's a little off the wall for sure. I mean, don't get me wrong, incredible performer, incredible singer, but he's he's on his own wavelength indeed.
How's his wine? Good.
It wasn't bad. Yeah,
No.
I mean, it wasn't the greatest wine I ever had, but it was decent.
Yep.
And I appreciate there's a lot of musicians and athletes and things like that get into the wine game just like they get into the weed game with the gummies and all the other kind of stuff like that, obviously, which is cool. I actually came across in the food world, there's a handful of former NFL players that came together to open a free range chicken farm in Austin, Texas.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like Von Miller and Cam Jordan, and I think Kelsey and Mahomes and Drew Brees, I think, is involved, because athletes, obviously, they pay special attention to the food and the stuff that they're putting in their bodies. So these guys had a passion for something like that, to be able to bring chickens that are out in the open eating grass and bugs like chickens are supposed to, which makes it obviously a much better quality product and much better for you. But anyway, I don't want to drift too far away from but I always think about us as sort of, we're on that same page as far as we want to spotlight. And that's really the spirit of this whole thing that I'm doing here, is spotlighting restaurants and food trucks and chefs and things like that. So, it's cool because, you're up there in Beaufort, which, door to door, most of the places in town, I would say I'm about 35, maybe 40 minutes from, unless I'm going way further out to St. Helena and doing Betos and stuff like that. So it's a little bit of a hike for me. And just like it's a bit of a hike for you to get from Beaufort all the way over to Hilton Head. But the one thing that you and I have in common above all else is distance does not stop us from going to find food.
Hell no, it doesn't.
Right. Exactly. And so we're gonna come back to that. We put together a rough outline, but I want to we'll kind of do this in a little bit of a geographic fashion as we fight the good fight and try to get the word out there to maybe cast a light and get some more exposure for maybe a couple of spots that aren't getting as much attention as they probably should be. Excuse me. Or it could be, this is the industry that's, especially locally, that's constantly evolving and changing. So there's quite a bit of new stuff, and one popped up today that we had already planned on talking about, and I was like, oh man, perfect timing. So we'll talk about that too. But I want to start in Beaufort proper. And when I'm thinking like Beaufort, like downtown Beaufort, I'm thinking basically that L from Carteret as you're rolling up towards the bridge, which as it usually is. I was going the other direction, fortunately, but I've sat on that one spot trying to get from, like, if I'm trying to get to Sister, if I'm trying to go over to Ladies Island to see Hunter, like at locals, like it sometimes it takes a little while to get up towards there, but that whole Carteret making the right onto Bay Street.
The L, I like that.
What's that?
I said the L, I like that. The L of Carteret.
That's just what I just think of it that way, right? And so, but that little one block, and yes, it's several. Once you get onto Bay Street, it's technically like a couple blocks, but you could find a lot of food, a lot of different, really good food just in that. And I'm terrible with distances and things like that, but it's probably like a quarter of a square mile or something like that. Like not even. It's a very condensed part of downtown Beaufort, and it really is like a hit parade. Boom, 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 going right down. So I thought the way that we could start would be, and this is going to loop in some new and some old. Let's talk about. I titled it Bay Street Boogie. So we're going to start with the newest, or one of the newer spots in town that you and I have both gotten to enjoy. I've gotten to enjoy it quite a few times already. I'm proud to say I'm working my way through most of the menu already, although it's changing. We're going to talk about that. Let's start at Sister Deli, and then let's head towards the bridge, and then we'll bang the right onto Bay Street and take that basically as far as we can go, literally and figuratively, because the end of that road is closed right now. So you can't even go any further once you get down to basically Panini's, right?
True. Yeah.
And I'm going to lean on you heavy for this, dude, because I'll be honest, hand up, like it's, I'm not making an excuse. Obviously there's a little bit of a distance there, but I'm the type of person that, as much as I want to try A, B, C, D, it's hard for me to not play my favorites. Like I just was at Black Sheep last week to get the chicken sandwich. And then I'm back over in town on an appointment, and he's like, porchetta, however you say that. George will probably correct me. I think it's porchetta. Dude, I saw they did a video, and I saw him like scraping the knife on the outside of that thing, and I was like, and I was already down where I was already down by Sister.
Yeah.
So I made my stop at over by Breakwater, and then I doubled back, and then I just reverse course and finished up. So I'm going to lean on you heavily for this, because I don't have a whole lot of experience. I know all the spots, but my assumption is that you've probably been in every single one of them at this point, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I thought that was a safe bet. So Sister, let's start with that. there was a lot of anticipation, right? Everybody was excited about this for a while. You were, I was, Sean Hill was. Everybody was excited for this Sister Deli to come in town. I had a great interview with the Musman sisters last year, talking about things. This was as they were building up to open it up, and it's really been like immediate hit in town, right?
They hit the ground running.
Yeah, for sure. So when you went, what was the sandwich that you had when you went?
I got the big copa, which had some marinated peppers on it. I'm trying to remember everything that was on it. I just put up a post, so I should remember it. But I went there for their Italian special, but I got there a little bit late in the day, so I missed it by a hair. So I ended up getting something off the regular menu. And let's see if I can.
I got you. Big copa.
All right, I didn't know you had an assistant or something helping you.
Oh no. Dude, I'm OCD with this stuff. I got us all queued up with this, and you know me, nice. I probably take just as many photos of menus as I do of the actual food. I study that stuff. So the big copa, spicy copa, which of course is one of these Italian, cured meats, marinated sweet peppers, house ricotta, aged provolone, stone ground mustard, pistachio gremolata, on crusty white bread.
Yes, all of that stuff.
All of that stuff.
So
I might even have. So you're gonna laugh. You probably saw me post this at some point. So day one, I walk in there. I'm like, okay, I'll do some wings. I'll do basically the bread, like the pate plate.
Yeah.
And then I got 3 sandwiches, and I knew I wasn't gonna. Obviously, and that's the other thing that I do. I've said this before. When I go out there, I use my time wisely. I know I'm not going to be back out for several days, maybe sometimes a week or two. So I over order because I'm going to be eating this stuff for the next couple of days. That's a classic move that I do at Beto's on a regular basis. That one Sunday I did the breakfast for the first time because they had the breakfast specials all day. And then I got the meat in 3, and I had the amazing brisket with a couple of sides later for dinner that Sunday. That was one hell of a day. And I think I actually hit. I want to say I probably hit. That's my 2-step. I'll go to Beto's and then I'll hit Locos on the way back. You see me do that a couple of times. Yeah. So I did 3 sandwiches, and then I did the poutine, and people were. Yeah, dude, look at this. Let's see if I can zoom it. Yeah, look at that.
Oh man.
I mean, just incredible with the gravy. People were walking into that side room like, what? Because they saw just me sitting there. I'm not going to say that hasn't happened to me before. It's happened. It's part. It comes with the territory, I guess. But people were walking in like, oh my god, I guess this guy's ordered half the menu, and that's what I told the girls I was going to do when I interviewed him. So there was the chicken liver pate and the duck roulette, the blackened wings, which are drums and confit drums and flats fried to a crisp with house blackened rub, truffled Alabama white sauce, and crispy shallots. At least that's how they were doing them on that particular day when shortly after they opened. You got the dirty poutine with the pulled pork, cheese curds, pork jus gravy, and again with that tasty pistachio gremolata. So that first day, I think I went with that mort, which was that signature, that fried mortadella. I think I did the duck roulette with the brie, and then I did the Low Country shrimp melt, which that really blew me away. The shrimp melt, I was not that I didn't think I was going to like it. I like shrimp salad. I like any sort of shrimp, but that might have been on that particular day. That might have been my favorite one, even though the fried mortadella sandwich is iconic. That's the one with the duck confit. That's the shrimp. And then this was I think this was the mortadella sandwich.
The duck confit that left the menu recently, I think, right?
Yeah,
just for a little while, maybe.
Yeah. So and that's the cool thing about this is that what I was going to say was like I pretty much have had every single one of the and then I went back a week or two later and I got the ones that I didn't get. So I got the mushroom out. I think the only one to date that, at least off the original menu, that I have not had is the turkey. Take this off while I do this. We don't need to see me doing my this is what happens. Like it's late in the day, I get tired and I get off my game a little bit. But that's the cool part about it. It's like just when I thought that I pretty much had the whole thing cleared out, then it's like, okay, now we're gonna make a couple changes and we're gonna remove this one and this one, and we're gonna put this one and this one on. I think the one that I'm seeing on their website is I think it's not the one that's current. But yeah, they did add a couple of new sandwiches, and not just the sandwiches. I mean, they got the salads. They got the let's see. I'm going to go to the Facebook page because I think that'll have a more current snapshot of some of the newer things.
Dude, those turkey pot pies they had looked insane.
Well, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because you go in and you order your sandwich, and then but you're standing and that's where I'll just pull up my own shots of that. So this is what you're looking at when you order, guys. Like you're ordering your sandwich and you have all this cheese staring you in the face, and then all of these meats staring you in the face, and then up top here they're hitting you with, like, turnovers. Yeah, like and not just sweets, but like also savory baked goods. Dude,
what was the one they had? It was like sauteed onions. It was like an onion pastry.
Had it. It was a caramelized onion tart that was meant, to be eaten warm.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be here in my sister folder, because I took that home and I popped it in my mom, for Christmas, my parents got us a really sweet toaster oven / air fryer thing. The thing is awesome. So I popped the caramelized onion tart in there for a couple of minutes, like on the bake option. Dude, it was awesome. That was a good one. Yeah, that one, like, that's one that I grabbed. Here it is.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Cheesy, oniony, with that flaky, sitting in that little basket of that flaky pastry.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, was that good?
I looked at those. I looked at those the other day, and then I landed on the cake.
On cake?
On a huge ass piece of cake. The Matilda cake, I think they call it. Yeah. But I did look at those.
The Matilda? Was it the Matilda?
Yeah.
So my friend Simone said that and I'm not going to dox her with what the actual number was. And she said, in my blank years of age, I think this is the best piece of cake that I've ever. Now, I don't know the whole story behind it's from one of the movies, right? There's a movie about a little girl with a Matilda cake or whatever. Yeah. So that part of it is lost on me. But let me tell you, that was and I'm not like the biggest like chocolate Death by Chocolate cake fan, but that thing was incredible. Now, what I am a fan of is Rice Krispie treats, and if you're gonna put a brown butter Rice Krispie treat in front of my face before I pay for my sandwiches and walk out, like I'm all over that, all day long. So yeah, so I love everything about this place. It is dangerous because I start walking around and it's like, here it is. I'll take you right through it. Like I'll pick up, it's like, oh, look at this. Smoking goose, caramel, bacon, and cheddar, like popcorn. What? Yeah. Ghost pepperoni, black garlic salami.
Yeah, because it's a deli and the market too. So they have all kinds of stuff. The drinks too, specialty drinks.
Yes.
I got a root beer the other day, and I was like, man, root beer is kind of hard to mess up. There's a couple ones that aren't my favorite ones, but I got like this
craft sodas and things like that.
Yeah, it was like a craft root beer with like real sugar cane, and oh man, and with like the savoriness of the sandwich and that little bit of spice from the stone ground mustard, it was just like ideal.
That's it. So Campfire Tyler concocting his own pairings at Sister Deli. I don't know. There might be like a sommelier type of word for that. Where
Yeah, I'm not
you're
that
coming up with
fancy,
some
but
great.
I drank it and I ate. It was great, man.
That's awesome. I know this probably won't be one of yours, although it's. I mean, I don't know. Olives are slightly different, but this is a dirty martini, uncured pork salami with Spanish olives. You know me. I'm a onion. I'm a pickled vegetable and onion guy all day. But I don't want to get you fired up because I know you're
Oh yeah.
anti-pickle.
No, olives get a pass. I do love
Okay.
olives.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Cool. The Italians are just breathed a sigh of relief.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
said that you're okay with olives. I'm a huge olive guy. This is like a black truffle salami,
Ooh,
and then look at this charcuterie board that they put together for my
yeah.
family for one of the holidays. It must have been Thanksgiving, I want to say. Yeah, it was back in the fall, dude. I mean, incredible.
Yeah.
Fig and honey. I don't know how you say chèvre log with the goat cheese. They got olives in there. They had 3 different cheeses. They had 3 different meats. The grapes. They had some of that olive oil cake. Like you said, this is not just a place to go get lunch. This is a place to get a lot of different specialty things. Tyler mentioned you know, the side over with the coolers. You got more meats and cheeses over there, and this is what he was talking about in terms of all the drinks that they got. You know, I've tried a couple of those draft nitros, the Devil's Foot sodas, and things like that. Yeah, some of them are a little too crazy for me, just like you said, but really, really some really cool stuff, and wine too. Um, One of the things that we talked about when I had the girls on was, you know, and I think I've told you this before. This is what my brothers-in-law do up in Biddeford, Maine. They have a cheese shop, specialty shop called Nibblesford. They do a few paninis up there, not to the extent that Danielle and Sammy and the team are doing at Sister, but what's great about these type of places, and I'd be remiss if I didn't at least give a shout out to the there's always going to be a couple of really nice breads. These are coming from Lolo's sourdough bread company. I was just talking to my wife about that yesterday, or just about how places go for certain purveyors and certain distributors and providers. I know for a fact that like my brother-in-law Ian, that's part of his day on the 4 or 5 days or whatever that they're open. He goes and actually picks up the baguettes himself, you know, at one of the purveyors or whatever up in Portland. So it's always fascinating to me. And I know I can tell you from personal experience that I know the amount of time and effort that these girls put into sourcing their ingredients and where they're getting their stuff from. They put a lot of time and effort and energy into that, and it really shows in the product. So that's a hell of a start to our little tour through downtown Beaufort, right?
Right.
So if we're heading towards the bridge, I would say you got Wren on the right side, which is part of the Jane Bistro in Hilton Head, Mondre and Mercado, which is in the fresh market shops there. And then Wren is an extension of that. For those of you Hilton Head Islanders and Bluftonians, it's not item for item, but the Wren menu is going to be very similar to what you're going to see at Jane Bistro and Bar. So if you're a Jane fan, there's definitely some things that I've had at Jane that I really enjoy. Madre Mercado, I've enjoyed more of the appetizer, like happy hour type of stuff, but there's some good stuff over there. But what I want to talk about is across the street from there, the same side of the street as Sister, is Breakwater, because you've had quite a few strong meals at Breakwater, have you not?
Breakwater is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't gotten too far over the menu, which I really want to. They're getting ready to roll out a new one pretty soon, a new bar menu, and I think they're going to add a few new things to the regular menu. I was talking to their chef Miles, but I
just talked to him the other day. Great guy.
Oh
great
yeah,
guy.
Miles is awesome, man.
Yeah.
But I personally I go for the burgers, which sounds so funny, and I used to joke. I used to say Breakwater is way too fancy for me. I would see people coming out, and what they were wearing. And then one day I went in there and there's a guy in a t-shirt and flip flops hanging out. And I was like, oh shit. All right, cool. So I sat down. I went there. I think the first time I ate there was during the burger bash.
Okay.
You didn't like it. And I went there and it was my second burger of the day because I was trying to make it through the list. So I had gone to Marker 244 in Port Royal and got a burger about 3 hours before that.
Yeah, good spot. Another good spot. Yeah.
Landed at Breakwater to eat that burger. And that's when I kind of realized I was like, oh no, this is a very nice, extensive menu. They got a lot of good stuff, a lot of braised beef and a lot of fresh fish, stuff like that.
It snuck up on you. You were pleasantly surprised. You're like, I misread it, and that happens to me sometimes too. That's why, like I always say, I don't care what anybody else says about this place or that place, and even sometimes my own initial, not necessarily reluctance, but my own like uncertainty that I'm not really sure what I'm going to get from this particular place, but you went with it. You were pleasantly surprised. I'm glad that you said you honestly, you read my mind, because that's why I wanted to ask you about Breakwater, because of the burger that you talked about very recently. This was like within the last month or so, I want to say, right? Last August. Yeah, no, this is the day that you were talking about. August 26th.
Yep.
Here you are at Marker 244. I'm sure this is because that's the view, right?
Oh, yeah. That was earlier in the day, yeah.
Yeah, so you had the burger there, which is that's probably this one, right?
No, that's the Breakwater one.
Oh, this is the Breakwater. Okay, okay.
That's the Breakwater one. It had like tiger sauce and cream cheese. This one up top here.
Oh no, you know why I didn't notice? Because it was opened up. Okay, so this was the Marker 244
open faced burger over there. But look at all the stuff on it. I mean, it would be hard to close that thing.
For real. Lettuce, tomato, avocado. You got some diced onions on there, bacon. That thing's legit. I bopped over there for a quick second the other day. I got to go back when I can eat more stuff. And what I like about a place like Marker 244 is they're cycling in a lot of different stuff from time to time too. They keep it very fresh. But yeah, I agree with you. This burger. So this is not the one that you had most recently, but this is going back to August, because this is going to give you an indication of what you're going to get there. And I agree with Tyler. I was sleeping on this place too. Could possibly be because I think that's fair for me to say. A lot of times I'm over in Beaufort and Ladies Island and stuff like that during the day. Like I went to dinner tonight. We got there at 5:30, 5:45, and I was back home by like 6:37. That's like, even when I go to Savannah, like I'm trying to do like a 5, 6 o'clock. If I can be back on my couch chilling by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, the latest, like I'm in good shape. So there are certain things that I miss out on. And it's not to say that I haven't gone out to dinner in Beaufort. It's been quite a while since I've done something like that. But a lot of times Beaufort just ends up being a lunch destination for me, like a breakfast lunch window type.
The drive home and all that stuff too. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. But you are very strategic in terms of the moves that you make. And we're going to come back to that in a little bit. But yeah, so Breakwater is another great spot. What I was going to say that Tyler was saying was definitely on board with, like, you guys are going to be impressed with the creativity of the stuff that's going on there. Just looking at this myself, I could pull it up. Chicken lettuce wraps with marinated chicken, Asian pear slaw, peanut chili crisp, and sweet chili sauce. Of course, they're going to have great cocktails. This was earlier this month, a beautiful bowl of butternut squash soup. I mean, look at that cake. We were talking about sweets before. Slivered almonds on a chocolate cake. I mean, this is one of those things where I'm very excited to, like you said, explore. So we might have to set this one up for one of our little content sessions, because I definitely have some more exploring that I want to do, and just a little bit that I've gotten to know Miles. I can tell you I'm really excited to eat as much of his food as I possibly can. So now we're heading out of Breakwater. Now we're getting pretty close to the corner right there, the right before the bridge, right?
Right.
Anything else before we get down to Bay Street? I think we're pretty much
That's about it. I mean, for small bites, and I can't really speak on it because I haven't been. There's a new wine bar on the corner, which does, I think, your small snacks,
Oh, they do.
cheese
Okay.
plate, stuff like that. But I haven't been in there yet, but I've heard good things about it. So let's take them around the corner. So first place, I would say Lost Local. It's a little taco
Exactly.
spot.
It's exactly, dude. We didn't go, and just so you guys know, we didn't go over this. So, like, I knew I was going to give him an alley oop with Breakwater, and he read my mind because that's exactly what I wanted to point out. And also, by the way, there is a Low Country Produce on Carteret as well. I know that's a popular place.
Yeah.
Some people more of a cafe vibe, but they do have a dinner menu, which I noticed, which is pretty interesting.
Are they doing dinner now?
Yeah, there's a dinner menu, and interestingly enough, for those of you Hilton Head Islanders, we're going to be connecting a lot of dots here for you tonight. There is a Low Country Produce in the Sea Pines shops on Hilton Head as well, and I believe, and I just learned this today, they actually own a third location, and I think that one is over by the air base. So
yeah, it's out in Labico, Dale, like kind of out on Highway 21.
Okay.
It's their farm stand.
Oh, is it? Okay.
They got a good burger out there too.
Oh, interesting. Okay. See, this is why I love learning this stuff. I didn't even know that existed until today. And you're telling me that they serve a burger and other food too. Okay, cool. So, but Lost Local. I'm ready for this, even though it's going back a little bit. It's not recent, but I did have a very good experience there for lunch a couple of years ago. So I do have a couple shots, but I'm going to pass the ball back to you. Tell me, tell the folks what they should know about Lost Local. Same owners as Hop Dog, which is the hot dog concept that's a block or two off, right next to Rain and Bagels there, off of Bay Street. But let's stay on Bay Street and talk about Lost Local.
So I got fried chicken tacos the last time I went there. Just delicious. They do a lot of creative plays on tacos. As you can see, lots of sauces. That was the fried chicken one I got. Yeah, that
down here.
So good. Yeah,
got it.
Like fried chicken, macaroni and cheese. It's like all the stuff that you probably wouldn't usually think would be on a taco, but you're so glad that it is.
Yeah, for sure. It's almost like not quite a why am I not thinking of the word? Not quite fusion, but kind of sort of like yeah.
I mean, you'll have a fusion.
Yeah, you'll have a traditional shrimp, right? And then there's a fish one, but like you said, fried chicken. I see that there's some mac and cheese up here. That looks like that on that particular day I was there. That looked like maybe like a pulled pork situation.
Yeah.
So they're throwing together some pretty creative taco combinations, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and I owe them another visit back for some food. I went on Night on the Town, the first Friday a couple months ago.
Yeah,
I had my daughter down there with me, so I was kind of hanging back, and
sure.
And there, I got like a margarita, got a taco, but I'm like, oh man, I want to sit. I always forget about that place because they're on a little bit of a different side of Bay Street than I usually am when I'm playing. If that makes sense.
You're on the water side. Yeah.
So sometimes I'll walk by it and I'll forget that they're there. I'm like, oh yes, it's like finding something new for the first time again,
Yeah, absolutely. Not a new spot, but compared to the places that you're talking about that are like historic, has not been around as much as the OGs have. And so what Tyler's trying to say is that a lot of the places that he posts up at are the places that you may be able to get in there on Bay Street. But the best part about them is what's going on out back. And a lot of those spots you can get into back there. I mean, Saltus, you can only get in back there, but from Saltus on, most of those spots that are along Bay Street, you can walk right in there from. Is there a name? Is there a name to that park that's behind there?
Yeah, sorry, Waterfront Park, the Hennessy Chambers. Yeah,
right. And that's the lure of those spots. And that's normally where you're going to find Tyler out there playing the guitar and performing, is on the back patios of these spots, which is really what makes them. Other than the fact that there's great food, it really makes them, that aesthetic is what makes them extremely popular.
So after Lost Local, I
Oh,
have.
real quick.
Oh yeah.
I got to show everybody these nachos I had at Lost Local. Those are
Woo!
pretty damn good too. Look at that
They're
queso,
good. Yeah, man.
jalapenos, diced tomatoes and onions, diced green pepper, jalapenos. I did some of that. I guess I don't know, whatever. Everybody's got some iteration of like a dynamite or like a bang bang shrimp. And I'm a big soup guy, so I took advantage of some soup there that day too. I think it was some sort of corn chowder type of thing going on. I don't exactly remember what it was, but I need to get back, like just like you said, I want to get back there so that I can explore more of that menu. Even though it's mostly taco centric, they are good for throwing in and mixing in a special here and there. Okay, let's get
Shout out
back.
to
I
Hot
don't say
Dog too.
what's that?
I said shout out to Hot Dog too. Hot Dog's awesome as well.
Oh yeah, another great addition. Oh, because let's be real, there's
Yeah, it's
not
close
really a
enough.
lot of hot dog places
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Like period. We used to have a great one at Boston College. We had like the little hot dog stand when you get back after you're drinking and partying all night. He'd be posted up on lower campus with hot dogs and sausages and things like that. Everybody loves a good hot dog. I was actually bummed out the other night because I went to the high school game. I got to announce the second quarter with Marcus Walsh for WHHI, and I wanted to sample some of the concession stand food. And I was going to do some pizza, which I got to do. I got to do the pizza. I think I get it from Mangiamo's. It was pretty good. And I wanted a hot dog, but by the time I went back out to go get the food, the hot dogs were gone. I was looking forward to like an old school high school concession stand, no frills hot dog.
So after Lost Local,
Yes.
I just put them together. I put Saltus and Hearth. I mean, same owners. It's
Okay. I didn't know that. That's good to know. Okay.
So Saltus, I like to go in there again. That was a spot for a little while. I just thought it was a little too fancy for me. And the only reason I say that is again, just it's one of the more upscale restaurants downtown. And like these days, I don't really give a shit. I'll go in anywhere. But back in the days, I kind of avoided it. I went in there and got appetizers there. Great sushi. My friend Spib rolls sushi over there. And he's always, while you're waiting for your rolls or waiting for your food or waiting for your drink, he's always coming up with these crazy little, I guess like appetizers, little small bites.
Right.
And, just phenomenal. I had like a calamari one over there before. I had some small little sushi bites. But Hearth, my favorite thing over there is their fried cheese, their fried mozzarella.
Okay.
Big
Hearth
fried
is a
mozzarella
wood-fired pizza joint, correct?
Yeah, Hearth wood-fired pizza.
Right.
Now, I was in there probably a couple weeks ago, and I got the mozzarella, and I could have sworn it came like little paper football triangles. And so I'm like talking to the lady. I'm like, "Oh yeah, give me the cheese triangles," and she's looking at me like I'm crazy. And they come out. I said, "They're not triangles anymore." And she goes, they never were triangles." Have you ever seen? Am I dreaming, or am I just like crazy? Or have you ever seen fried cheese triangles instead of sticks?
1,000% have.
Yeah, they're great for dipping, right? Yeah,
yeah. I like them better. That they have them at Ralphie's Pizza. I like them. I agree with you. So now we're gonna get into some technical talk. Because you can get better surface area when you're dipping and actually, you know what I've been really dying to try is Outback has like the boomerang like shaped ones that I think are buffalo flavored. So good. Yes, it's a broader stick. It's almost like a mozzarella, like what you would get at almost like an Italian restaurant that has fried mozzarella. They're not given to you in a stick form. And I did tell you about the Laundry Diner ones. Those are stick form and they're spectacular. But the triangular ones are the ones that are in more of a flat shape. You dip it in the sauce, you get more of like and that's one of the things where when flavor like hits your tongue and it's like it's covering like a larger surface area, at least in my opinion. I enjoy those shapes of mozzarella sticks normally way more than I enjoy like the thin sticks, especially when they're thin.
And maybe she was right, but I feel like I've had triangle shaped mozzarella sticks at Hearth. So Hearth, if you're listening, bring them back or
bring them back.
Either way, I'll be happy.
Bring them back or what?
Bring it back or debut it.
or debut it. Right, exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
I swear they've had it before. I don't know. I think the lady just forgot. But
I'm going with you on that. I'm siding with you on that. Saltus, real quick. I wasn't thinking of this, to be honest with you, because not because I didn't think like I wasn't sure what I was getting into, but this theme that we're doing here for this sort of little food tour is very conducive to like appetizer type stuff. So what you're telling me something that I didn't know, because when I went, yeah, I had a sushi appetizer, like there was a roll with some sashimi
right,
and
seaweed salad. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. This was a crab cake, and then we got some egg rolls, and then a couple of entrees. I think this was me with the seared tuna over the bok choy. But you're telling me that there's a pretty decent offering of small plates there too, as well, huh?
yeah. If the
Okay.
sushi chef likes you,
Okay. Okay. Got it. I got it.
yeah,
I got
yeah.
it. I got it. So what you're telling me is I need to try
You
to
gotta
work
get
my way to
in.
the
Yeah,
locals only treatment over there.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Right on. Right on. All right. Let's keep going.
So let me think. You have plums. Not the biggest plums fan, not for any reason in particular. I just don't really get out there that much.
Hmm.
Luther's, same thing. Usually when I'm pulling up at Luther's, it's at night and getting ready to play.
Right.
I heard they have a good burger there, good pizza or whatever. Next, I'm thinking, have you been in the Old Bay Marketplace?
No. Oh
So
no.
it's
Is that the inside
the
hallway thing?
hallway.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have. Yeah.
So down there they have Southern Sweets. It's an ice cream shop. They do like malt milkshakes, and they have a food menu as well. Their food's actually pretty good. A lot of it's like named after Forrest Gump characters and stuff like that. They have the Lieutenant Dan sandwich, which is kind of their turkey one. Well, you want to talk about a good hot dog too? That's a little bit different style than hot dog. Hit up Southern Sweets and get you a chocolate malt and a coney.
Oh, they get the conies. Okay.
Yeah,
So for those of you over here in the Bluffton Hilton Headway, we have Southern Coney and breakfast down on the south end. I know that's one of Matt Stock's favorite spots for breakfast. Coney is like a Midwestern thing. I want to say it's either like Illinois or Ohio or something like that. It's like a certain type of chili dog. I didn't even know about this place, dude, until a couple of months ago when I took that little dip, in between those buildings. It's weird. It's almost like you're for a
yeah,
couple of minutes, you're like inside a mall kind of vibe.
yep,
And not only do they have, because you look at it from the outside here and you think, oh, this is an ice cream shop. But then you walk inside, and like Tyler said, you see an entire menu behind these lovely ladies. You see an entire menu of hot dogs and sandwiches and milkshakes. And the other thing that I noticed, dude, no exaggeration, I looked over to the side, to this little chalkboard that they have. I'm not even exaggerating, dude. I think there were like 10 soups listed.
yeah,
Like they had a soup, they had a arsenal of soup options. I was blown away. I didn't expect to see that. This was a cheeseburger soup that they had. Just this. What's today? Today's the 5th. This was this week was one of the soups that they had. Nice little find, dude. I'm glad that you mentioned that one because that's
yeah.
not one that would slip past most people.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely wanted to include them, and especially with all the construction and stuff that's going down downtown right now. It's like, nobody left behind.
Right, right.
So after them, I would say I guess you're probably about at Hemingway's at that point.
Yeah, you are.
Hemingway's obviously a big place for me. That's kind of one of the first places to really let me play and feed me. And I love the muffalata sandwich over there. It's you experience a little bit of a Mardi Gras menu tonight, but I get the New Orleans style muffalata over there. Great French dip. I couldn't remember if we were saying for the Bay Street Boogie small bites, but I definitely highly recommend their soup over there. My friend John runs the kitchen most days.
Yeah.
He's always whipping up some kind of crazy soup, but they always have, I'm pretty sure, always have a she crab.
Okay.
Really
Okay.
good. Yeah.
I am I'm guilty of I honestly until like the other day I always had heard of it, but I didn't realize like how to get there. Like I feel like I would be going down there, but I never made it quite to the Hemingway Panini's little spot there. And that's the Hemingway's is different than these other spots that we're talking about because you have to walk in between the buildings. So when you get to the building where Panini's is, you have to hang if you're heading like away from the bridge. You have to head down that little alley around the back, and it's a really cool kind of like almost like a basement looking entrance in the back. And here we go.
Yeah, it's a basement dive bar, and their slogan is "A nice place to be if you can find it."
So there you go. So I'm pleading the fifth there. But I'm glad that I finally found it. And as soon as I walked in, I was like, yeah, this is going to have to be a spot that I'm going to have to check out a little bit more of this stuff. I mean, just the items that you described already, I can already tell you there's going to be definitely a few things on there that I'm going to indulge in and enjoy for sure. Okay, so I think we made it to the end of the little Bay Street Boogie there, right? I think we're good.
That was quite the boogie.
Yeah, and we didn't specify small bites, but I was thinking like, we're both big sandwich guys. Yeah. We both love soups. And so it's just one of those things where like if you're in town for lunch and you want to incorporate and loop in a couple of these spots, we definitely gave you a nice solid list of, and we really hit all the high notes as far as what you're going to find there on Carteret as you swing a right onto Bay Street. So that's great. The other thing that we talked about was we called it Hello, or I called it Hello Birdie. And I'm being a little bit of tongue in cheek with that because Birdie, Bye Bye Birdie is not brand new. And now this is over in the shopping center by, was that a Food Lion? Did I catch that right?
Yeah.
Over there.
Over by the Food Lion, the Outback. Right.
So Bye Bye Birdie came, I feel like they popped up a couple of months ago, right? So this is going to be where we're going to just hit a couple of quick, just in case you haven't heard about this one. Again, Bye Bye Birdie's not brand new, but I finally got around to checking it out 2 weeks ago. I popped in over there. Really nice place inside. Like very bright, very lit, very airy, very like clean. When I'm saying like, I mean, yes, clean, but like just the like it's got that clean look when you walk in there. And what caught I think both of our eyes when shortly after that they had opened was we saw that they were doing flights of deviled eggs. And before Bye Bye Birdie came on the map, I already knew that you were a big deviled eggs guy.
I am.
So I knew that this was going to be on your list right from the rip, right?
Yeah.
So what Ben and the team over there has been doing is they essentially just about every week have a different flight of egg rolls. So these were Asian inspired. I believe it was chicken fried rice. I believe it was an orange chicken. And then
Rangoon.
Yeah, dude. Campfire Tyler's Worlds Converge. A deviled egg that is also a crab Rangoon. These are a few of his favorite things, folks.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm getting excited just thinking about it.
Yeah, man. This week, see if I have it here. Yep, got it. This week, game day.
Oh man, Super Bowl game. Little smoky deviled eggs.
Yep. Rotel dip. So they got a Rotel dip egg. I mean, Rotel dip egg, which looks like it's got a little Frank on there. Oh no.
Yeah, it's a little smoky, I think.
That's Rotel, right? Oh no, I take it back. That's the chili cheese one.
Oh, okay.
So I think the chili cheese one's the one that's got the little dog on it. And then I think the Rotel is this one at the bottom that's got the chip dipped into it. Yeah, I can see the ground beef in there. I screwed that up. My bad. And then the middle buffalo chicken dip, which is always a crowd pleaser, especially on Super Bowl Sunday, right? So when I went in, I had the deviled egg flight, and they also happened to have a French onion soup that day, which I really enjoyed, and as everybody knows, I had soup coming out of my ears back in, Thanksgiving to Christmas. I had my refrigerator full of pint and quart containers of leftover soups. I lived on soup for a good solid month. I don't think we cooked dinner more than once or twice the entire time. You dig into that, you get a nice cheesy scoop with those beautiful onions. This was a nice hearty crock of French onion soup. They're doing a fish fry, somewhat regular occurrence at Bye Bye Birdie, so you get a fish fry there. And the other day they were also doing a lasagna day. So yeah, so there are they even got some Italian food stuff going on. I also saw that they're doing Valentine's Day dinner date on Valentine's Day from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. We got to put a pin in that because you're always doing something special. So before I let you go today, make sure that we talk about Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day is a big Campfire Tyler holiday out here in Beaufort in the Low Country. But we called it Hello Birdie because Bye Bye Birdie was kind of, like I said, a few months ago, burst onto the scene, got everybody's attention. Some other ones that I've noticed that are popping up. You want to start with the one that came up today, just coincidentally, interesting timing, man, with that.
Let's roll into it. That's Bordertown Barbecue.
Yeah.
Kind of over behind the Starbucks in Beaufort, right there on road is that Boundary Street. And so that building was a barbecue restaurant many years ago. It was Casey Mike's Barbecue. Casey Mike's closed down. It turned into Home Slice Pizza. And then when Home Slice left, they began kind of putting up hints that it was going to be another barbecue restaurant. Texas-style barbecue. Looks like they got some Texas Twinkies, which is, brisket, cream cheese, stuffed in a jalapeno, wrapped in bacon. Amazing stuff. This place has had a really good social media rollout, I would say.
For sure.
Kind of keeping the people on their toes as they kind of, put the finishing touches on it. But I mean, look at the front of that place. If you had seen it probably about a year ago, that looks so entirely different. It looks like a new building.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks impressive.
I'm really, really excited about this place.
Our friends over at Explore Beaufort, they had a great write-up on this. They showed us some brisket tacos.
Oh man, they're feeding people already.
I think I think our guys at Explore Beaufort might have gotten a little bit of a first shot.
Oh, what is that? Brisket tacos?
Yeah, dude, look at that.
Yeah.
Brisket tacos.
I just ate dinner. I'm already so hungry again, just talking about all this food.
And it's funny because that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I just had this big New Orleans dinner. I'm like, oh, okay, at least I'll be good tonight. But now we're an hour into it, and I'm like, this stuff looks so good. This is why I'm glad, and of course, like, you're the first person that I would think of to talk about stuff like this, because I love learning about the history, that comes along with it. So Tyler told us, what this place used to be, just like our buddy Chef Hunter over at Locals Raw Bar. Part of the charm of Locals Raw Bar is that it was a somewhat, is iconic a fair word to use? It was a somewhat very well-known Chinese.
It was like kind of almost hibachi. It was like
Japanese.
Yeah, Fuji's was sushi.
Right.
And hibachi.
Right, my bad. Fuji, Japanese and sushi restaurant, and he still has the sign, up in the kitchen.
That's great, man. I love the homage to Fuji. That was a staple of my high school eating career.
Right on. You said how cool Bordertown looked outside. Look at the inside shot of this, bro.
Yeah, dude.
That's very chic. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's going to be – I'm really excited about this spot. Like I said, they've had a great rollout on social media. Everyone seems really, really excited to get in there, myself included. I'm hoping, I don't know, maybe they'll let me come try it first. Look at that brisket.
Incredible, right?
Brandon. Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out. I this time when I started the stream, I enabled it to play the audio from the thing. Let me see if I can change this. Yeah, I can.
I could watch that all day. That's a little
Can you
nice.
hear it? Can you hear the music though?
I
Can you
can hear the music. Yeah, it's
Okay, good.
some kind of
That's
country.
that's the first time I've ever been able to figure out how to do that. So, like
Look at that,
normally
man.
I'm hearing it in my cans, but the person that I'm talking to doesn't hear any of
Can't
it. But I
hear it.
toggled the button over today. I just wanted to make sure
Yeah.
that it wasn't blasting in our ears and in the ears and of the audience. So yeah, this
Nope,
is what
sounds
got our
good.
today, and there we are going to talk about you guys today on the Indulgent Hour with Campfire Tyler. So we got Border Town there. Shout out. This seems quite imminent now.
Yeah. And it looks very family owned. They've been putting a lot of hard work, like you said, on the inside and the outside. And just that amount of care put into the restaurant, I just know the food's going to be good. It has to
Definitely,
be, right?
definitely. Oh hell yeah! I'm looking forward to trying this out. I may have to meet you over there one day once they get opened and rocking and rolling. I want to throw one in that is not necessarily brand spanking new, but this is a part of town that I really do not find myself over in this area. Honestly, it just reminded me of one of the last times that I drove up to Charleston. This was the route that I took. I ran over to where substation 2 is, and I checked out 1711 Tap House. And I got to be honest, just like we're talking, this is sort of fitting right in with what you were saying about Border Town. Dude, I was really impressed. Like, as soon as I walked in, I was like, wow, this place looks pretty sweet.
Dude, it's beautiful in there. They got good pizza too. Did you get the shrimp and grits pizza?
I didn't get to try the food yet. No.
Oh man. Yeah, definitely check them out. I've had a few pizzas over there that were just really good. I always forget about that place too, which is surprising because I pass it pretty much like every day.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably one of the further out parts of at least that side of the town of Beaufort, right? You know, this
Right.
is like we're heading our way out of town and we're passing, Chick-fil-A and whatnot on the right hand side, and we're just gonna keep going till we hit, Gilligan's seafood on the right hand side. And then, if you go a little bit further out, you get to that traffic light and you're gonna run into 1711 Tap House. I mean, you could guys just see just from like looking at the outside of the building, this is a very large spot. And I wish I had taken a photo from the one end of the bar when I went in there. But well, this will give you a little bit of an idea. But when you walk in, you got this giant bar that just goes all the way down, like the back wall of where you're walking in, and then you turn to your right and you got booths lining all the way over and tables. I think I might have seen a couple of high tops as well. I remember hearing the buzz, and then it just kind of like, I'm not saying the buzz stopped, but for some reason it was on my radar, and then I kind of forgot about it for a few months. So I'm glad that I popped in there the other day, because now I'm like, okay, now I got to get back over there and try some of this stuff, because it is really, really nice in that they put a lot of time and effort into it.
It's got a good vibe in there for sure.
100%. What else you got that might be something that's newer, or anything else that's coming down the pike that you might have heard about?
So another barbecue spot. I can't say where it's gonna be yet. I don't even know.
Okay.
But if you've ever had Mother Smoking Good,
it's
a food truck. My friend Mark Keith runs it. Great guy, great food. Talk about smoked turkey legs that look like a T-Rex's leg. They're humongous. Does stuffed ones, but he's getting ready. He's looking for kind of a brick and mortar right now. Has a possible location that's top secret.
Okay.
But he's going to be joining the food truck court here in Beaufort, I think either February or March. So he might be out there already. If not, probably be out there next couple weeks. But he's going to have a much more permanent residence in there with the truck in the meantime.
Look at these ribs.
He's been doing like Lowe's and apartment complexes and stuff like that. But he won Rockin' Ribs a couple years back out on Hilton Head.
Oh, okay.
Barbecue. So
I think I remember that. Look at these beef ribs.
Probably some of the best barbecue I've ever had around here, at least. But just great food, and that was really excited. I actually made a note of that to kind of shout out Mark Keith and Mother Smoking Good, because I'm ready for you to be at the food truck court. I want to be able to pull up and just grab some good food.
Mark Keith, I got to deal with him when I helped this real estate team organize a food truck event in Old Town Bluffton last year, and
Oh, cool.
Morgan Good was one of the trucks that came. And is that him right there?
That's him.
Yeah, look at those turkey legs. Just
Man,
like
they're
Campfire
good.
Tyler was saying. That's incredible. Yeah, this guy was a super nice guy, very easy to communicate with, and that was the top choice for barbecue for the event that day. So just like Ty's saying, keep an eye out for Mother Smoking Good heading towards a brick and mortar. You also mentioned that that's a perfect little sort of segue slash way to close that one out. Talk about this Beaufort food truck park for a minute, because I think there's some people that don't know where it is.
Yeah.
And I've heard of a couple of the trucks over there, but what are the couple of the highlights for you from the Beaufort food truck park?
Rusty Bucket for sure. They're
That's at the
one of
top
the
of the
newer,
list.
newer trucks out there. You can find them on Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff, I believe. But great food. I got a banana pudding creme brulee from over there. They have a oxtail, I want to say oxtail quesadilla.
You told me about that.
Which
Yeah.
is kind of far out there. I love oxtail. I'm a big oxtail guy. I don't think you're too as crazy about it as I am. But they're great. They also have a taco truck out there. Jamaican. That's where me and Sean went. I almost choked to death on a goat bone. But we won't hold that against them.
Right.
But
is this the one that? So this is on. They have a Facebook page, right? Low Country Food Truck
Low
Court.
Country Food Truck Court. It's as far as location, I guess you'd call that's Port Royal. But I was trying to think of a good landmark that it's near, because it's literally just in a parking lot.
So I think the best way to explain this to people is that when you're coming down Paris Island Gateway, basically, let's see, trying to put it into terms where, like, from a landmark that I would think of.
I mean, Beaufort's pretty much a big circle, so if you just
Yeah.
keep driving around, you'll find it eventually. But this
is a good visual. This is a good visual.
Paris Island Gateway.
It's kind of right smack in the middle of that whole circle.
There's trucks out there that actually have a sign. My bone to pick with them, and it was funny because somebody put up a post recently, and they said, "What would you like to see come to the food truck court?" And somebody goes, "Chairs and tables." And that's so real, because it's literally just a parking lot with food truck courts.
There's no place to sit or anything like that.
If you go to somewhere like, Starland Yard or even the food truck court on Hilton Head, you have lots of options for shade and seating and stuff.
Right.
And that's all I think that one's kind of missing, especially in the heat of summer,
Yeah. Yeah. So guys, what you want to do is you want to come over the Broad, and you're on 170. And what you're going to do is you're going to turn off onto 128, that main right that you make when you're heading towards where Scratch is, and you're heading towards is that Ladies Island? Yeah. Yeah, so basically you're going to make that right, and then when you're coming down there, you can make the left onto 21. Conversely, you could take 170 all the way to where the Walmart is, and you can make the right onto 21, and you're going to find that about equidistant between 170 and what's it called? Is it the Smalls Parkway? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Robert Smalls. Yeah.
Right on. Well, everybody's got Google; they'll be able to find it. That food truck park, I got to get over there. I've been trying to get to that Rusty Bucket for a while. I've had multiple people tell me that I need to get there, and you've given me, even before we talked about it today, you've given me like 3 or 4 things that you've eaten there that were incredible. So that's at the top of the list. I'm glad that we got to give a quick shout out to the Beaufort food truck park. I think we're good with newish and new, right?
Yeah. We might have to save the Savannah and Charleston chapter for another time, man.
Oh yeah, no, we're definitely gonna do that. We'll do a whole.
That's a whole episode in itself, man.
Yeah, dude, you want to talk about the biggest FOMO on the planet is when you do your jaunts up to Charleston. I'm like, damn, this guy's at King's Barbecue again. This guy's at Palmyra. I've been looking at the pictures just the last couple of days from, I'm a big Jackrabbit Philly guy. I've yet to try the new location, so I'm dying for that myself.
Ooh, I didn't know that new location.
Yeah, the last time that I was there was before a Silver Sun Pickups concert at Charleston Music Hall, and this was before that they relocated. I think what we're gonna do is Josh was a big Modest Mouse fan, and Modest Mouse is gonna be there in June. So I think we're gonna probably do that same little thing. It's hard for me to get away for more than a handful of hours with the dog and the cat. So I'll have my brother or someone come and take care of them, and we'll just do what we did last time. After the show, we'll just trek it back here. So I wanted to talk about this. Like we called it Southbound and Down. A little bit of a play on words from that Danny McBride jaunt. We talked about how we travel great distances. So just give us a broad overview. It could be recent stuff. It could be stuff that has become firmly entrenched on your list. When Campfire Tyler has the opportunity to come out here because he's playing a show at Local Pie in Bluffton, or he's throw out some of the spots that you are somewhat as regular as someone that lives in Beaufort can be over here.
Captain Woody's rooftop bar over in the promenade. I do there a lot. Every now and then in Agave. I'm not at Local Pie anymore. I do miss them a lot though. But
that was a brunch.
Maybe I'll be back out there sometime soon.
Right on. But you said you're at Captain Woody's, which is right next door.
Yeah, exactly.
And Agave, which is, formerly the Old Town Dispensary. That's as iconic as a venue as it gets. I love
that venue. Yeah.
Friday night at Agave is like Old Town Bluffton Central. Like everybody's kicking off their weekend, having drinks out on the deck, even though they're eating Mexican food now instead of pub food like they had before. Although I do miss that fried chicken sandwich and that French onion soup from OTD. What are the spots that you are most frequenting when you're coming down to Bluffton and Hilton Head, whether it's the ones that you hit the most often, the ones that have really been, hitting the spot for you recently? Because like we talked about, you and I travel great distances to go find this food. And as much as you are a great source for Beaufort eats, and a great spokesperson for that, you do quite a bit of eating down this way as well.
I do, yeah. So school pizza, obviously the food truck. That's something I've been bribing them and trying to sweet talk them into coming over to Beaufort, but they won't cross the bridge. So I got to go to Bluffton for them, and I miss them too. I haven't seen them in a little while.
They're serving Sunday. They're serving for Sunday. It was supposed to be this past Sunday, but because of the snow, they pushed it back a week. So people are going to actually be able to get school pizza. They did a pre-order. It sold out in 15 minutes, but they are going to do walk-up starting at 5 p.m. on Super Bowl Sunday. So starting an hour before the game, guys, this Sunday, February 8th, school pizza will be doing another bake.
Slider Bar, that's my other choice over there. I love Slider Bar. I like how they're not scared to experiment. They throw some weird shit together sometimes.
Today?
And it works.
Did you see what they posted today?
I did not. No. What was it?
I'll show you right now. This is working out perfectly, dude. This is we are very in sync because you just teed another one up for me. Look at this bastard.
Oh man.
This is a pimento pig out. It's a slider with fried green tomatoes, sausage patty, and creamy pimento cheese. However, Urban Dictionary might describe it as a slider you can't restrain from devouring it in milliseconds, it says. Try and prove them wrong, we dare you. You're right. They just come up with some of the craziest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah. So shout out the Slider Bar.
I would say most dudes are going to want to do 2 to 3 sliders at Slider Bar. It's not a White Castle slider. It's definitely a more robust slider. And I don't want to hear anybody complaining about the price of things because this slider, regardless of which one you choose, has top to bottom, literally, and I know this for a fact, top to bottom, like top end ingredients. Pete does not skimp on on anything. So
Dude,
you
yeah,
might be paying
everything
10.
Pete touches turns to gold.
Yeah. So I don't want to hear about it's a $10 slider. It's the most significant slider that you're going to be able to get. If you want a full meal, just do 2 or 3 of them with an order of fries. You'll be good to go. Keep
Right.
rolling, bro.
So next, Ten and Tallow, another burger joint, much larger burgers. Love me some Ten and Tallow. Love their weekly specials. You hit up Ten and Tallow quite a bit too.
I sure do. Did you see this week's special?
I haven't, man.
I
I
missed
don't
this
even know
one.
what day it is this week.
I missed this one last time, and I know that I'm a thorn in Jazzy's side because I'm always bugging her. If Tuesday, Wednesday rolls around and I haven't seen what the edition is yet, I always bust her chops, and so I'll probably be able to. Yeah, I'll probably be able to see it here. So they had the thing with was it snowmen or something like they had something that they posted, and I wrote edition question mark, and one of the people laughed at me because that I've kind of gotten a little bit of a reputation to myself of being impatient to find out when the edition comes out. This week's is one that I missed out on last time, and I ain't gonna let it pass by me again. They're calling it the olive burger, inspired by classic olive dips. It's got a smash patty or 2 or 3 if you so choose, house-made creamy green olive spread. I don't know about you, bro, but we talked about rain and bagels before. Yeah. If I can get a salt bagel, I think we talked about Martin and Derek up in New York. Martin posted one. It was a salt bagel with scallion cream cheese. Same idea, salt bagel with green olive spread is always a home run. This one adds Swiss and American cheese blend as well, in addition to the olive cream cheese, in addition to the smash patty. So go check out the olive burger. And just like I always say, guys, do not sleep on the egg roll. They're going to have an edition every week, but they're always going to have an egg roll. Sometimes the theme is the same between the two, but Tyler, the original flavor innovator, as I call him, he is always the mastermind. The wheels start turning, and he'll put together. I had a jambalaya one a couple of weeks ago that was really good.
I was going to ask you about the jambalaya one. How was that? Oh, I mean, God. I know it was good, but like, oh God,
Ty, it had like a gravy dipper. Like a lot of them have like a sauce dipper. Yeah. This one had like a not a brown gravy, but like almost like a turkey gravy looking kind of thing to dip it in. It was incredible. And I feel like I almost might have, oh no, it was the time before that where it was something that I wasn't really that like getting me that excited, and they never steer me wrong. The girl was like, honestly, it's one of the better ones that I've had. This was a couple weeks ago, and I jumped on it. They'll never steer me wrong. Another quick one. Did you happen to know that you can get chicken tenders at Ten and Tallow now as well?
I did not, but I'm a big chicken tendy fan, so I'll have to check that out.
Check out those tenders. You can get them with pretty much any of the sauces as well. It's not just a children's menu thing, because of course they have some really great chicken sandwiches as well. And now they're doing hot dogs. They're doing Chicago, as most people know.
I saw the Chicago dog. Yeah.
Yeah. The Bodishes are they're Chicago people. That's one of the reasons why I was bummed that the Bears didn't go farther, because we were heading towards quite an epic Bears viewing party at Tin and Tallow. Unfortunately, they fell a little bit short. A couple people were bitching about the picture of the Chicago hot dog that I posted. The only reason why it didn't look as, to use the term robust again, as a Chicago dog normally would, because it was so good and because it was so popular, they ran right through their supply of the Vienna beef hot dogs. And so they had to sub in like regular normal size hot dogs because people came out, and they just came out in full force ordering Chicago dogs. So I said, people, just give them a break. Just because you don't see this giant dog sticking out both sides of the bun, they're going to come back to that. I agree with you. Tin and Tallow, always a winner over here.
Tin and Tallow is great. One real quick before we got to get out of here. Al's Aloha Kitchen. Big Al's fan. Poke bowls, all kinds of good eats. They got acai. They got all kinds of good refreshing food. And they're another one that I would like to come a little bit closer to me. I know there was word that they were going to Bluffton. I'm not sure.
At one point there was, it fell through, unfortunately.
But I never mind taking the ride out there just to go see them.
I'm glad you mentioned that, though, because they just debuted. I don't know if you knew this. Al just debuted a brand new menu. It went
Oh, no, I
live.
didn't know that.
Yeah, it went live this past weekend. He's got a brand new menu. He's got a brand new surfboard that he's going to be putting up there. So yeah, you got to get back over there and check it out. I just spoke to him last week. He was just waiting for it was some sort of thing with the material that he needed to hang. Like he had the menu, he just needed the finishing touch to put the new thing up. And he said, I got a new surfboard, and I was going to grab a t-shirt, but there's going to be a complete new line of Al's Aloha merch coming out as well.
Heck yeah.
Are you a Spam Musubi guy when you're at Al's?
Spam Musubi, yeah.
Okay. I
never get enough. I always try to take some home with me, and I always never get enough because I
go egg
on the way back.
What is it? Egg Spam. I do the egg jalapeno, and then you got to get that that sriracha aioli, or the whichever you so choose. You either do the wasabi, or sometimes I get one of each, and I go back and forth between the sriracha aioli and the wasabi aioli. Great place for coffees and smoothies and stuff like that too as well. Yeah. I'm a big guy on I'm gonna do a poke bowl there, and then I might actually take a fruit bowl and possibly a smoothie or a milkshake with me. One of my favorite ones is the coffee flavored smoothie that they have there with, and they got a lot of superfoods and things like that, things that you can throw in there as well.
Definitely. And the ginger shots. Don't forget the ginger shots.
Yes.
Natural energy. It'll wake you right up. Those
absolutely
things are kicking.
Absolutely. Anything else over here on Hilton Head and Bluffton that's a regular spot for you?
I got a shout out as far as a regular spot goes. Got a shout out Earl's Sandwich over in the Caligny Plaza.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say Earl's Sandwich.
I love the Earl.
I have never been there. I'm embarrassed.
What?
I had Italian. Yes, I had Italian wedding soup. You know what it is? And it's not. I'm not like, I don't go near Caligny, or I stay off the South End in the summertime. No, it's got nothing to do with that. I definitely end up getting over to Caligny, but it's the same thing that I was telling you before. Because I love stews so much, because I love Cafe Al Dente, because Sweet Al's is in the rotation now, because Bad Biscuits over there. Sometimes some of the OGs get buried a little bit further down the list, but I owe and his name is escaping me, but I did comment on one of the posts 2 weeks ago. I said, I'm going to get over there because I know that there was something that they had. It was a grilled cheese situation. And I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Matt posted, and he's done this quite a few times, there's a combo with one of the grilled cheese sandwiches or something that he dips into a Gouda soup, like a Gouda cheese soup, as a pairing that just seemed out of this world to me. So I got to own up to that. This is one that I'm literally embarrassed that I have not eaten more than just that one soup that I tried. So I'm going to definitely make that happen.
Definitely check them out, man. Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's about it for my Hilton Head eats.
Right on. Okay, so this is the perfect way to tie it together. We're going to finish up with and we're going to get to your plugs as well before I let you go, because it is getting late. We both have so late night snacks to prepare for ourselves after this conversation. I called this one Algorithmic Eats, not the way that you would normally spell algorithmic, but algorithm, like RHY rhythm, as a shout out to our boys, Kyle and Nick Poulin. Well, I mean, I know Nick's not in algorithm, but he's doing a lot of shows along with them. Yep. And so I wanted to touch on this for two reasons. Number one, I had a long conversation with today's the day, apparently, and even though it wasn't recorded today, like this one is being live, today's the day of the theme for today's podcast recordings is I'm talking to people that are so well known for what they do and how well they do it that people don't even know, or most people don't, I know, but most people don't know their actual legal government names, right? Everybody knows Tyler as Campfire Tyler. Earlier today, I dropped my podcast with Quattro Spice. I was telling my friend I'm going to interview Brian Gomez Martinez, and she said, "Who's that?" And I said, "Quattro Spice." She goes, "Oh, I know you're talking about." Brian and I talked about how the community of restaurant owners, and specifically more so chefs and food and beverage workers, are always supporting each other, right?
Yeah.
They're always like advocating for each other. It's not like a competition where one's trying to get one over on the other. There's a lot of collaboration and there's a lot of support. From my view, as a spectator and as a fan of all of you guys and all the guys that I mentioned before, because remember, when I started coming down here, it was only restaurants and musicians for me. I was here on vacation. I was going out a lot of times just by myself, grabbing something to eat and enjoying some music. So from my perspective, I see a similar thing with that, with you and the rest of the guys in your music community. Is that fair to say that there's almost like almost a family among you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everyone looks out for everyone. Obviously, I'm in Beaufort, but those guys are so welcoming to me. Just bringing me in a couple years back, I kind of started playing on Hilton Head in 2020. Before that, I would just come out here for delinquency,
right?
And just kind of do hood rat stuff and drink Frosty Frogs and give them hell. But the music community around here is so tight knit. Those guys are all super talented. Love any chance I get. I got to do Charlie Fest. It was last weekend, or no, 2 weekends ago.
It was.
Got to see a bunch of my Hilton Head friends.
Freezing cold, right? Why is Charlie always raining and cold? But everybody still shows out in full force, and that just goes to show you how important it is to everybody, because they literally weather like one of the worst. It always ends up being one of the worst weather weekends of the year, but yet there's a huge crowd out there, and all you guys were there again, right?
Yep.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was my first year doing Charlie Fest, but I met a lot of those guys in 2019 at Charlie Fest.
Okay.
So it was really cool to come back around to that, and freeze my ass off out there with them this year. So it was great.
Yeah, those relationships span bridges and rivers, and you've definitely become, whatever term you want to use, grandfathered in. You're just as important and as big a name in the music scene over here in Bluffton and Hilton Head as you are over in Beaufort. The other reason why I wanted to say that was because, just like we started, and I think this is the perfect way to bring it full circle. I love the way that's almost serendipitous when this happens. You guys are you all happen to be big time foodies, right?
Yeah.
You and Matt and Derek and Martin, and like there's a lot of even like Trevor Harden is trying to crowdsource ramen noodles, and like you guys all you support the places that you play at, of course, because you have a partnership with those guys, but you support all these other restaurants and businesses. And it's like we said, you take advantage of the voice that you have and you use that to spread the word. I called it Algorithmic Eats because that's another thing that you and I have in common. We are, we're menu chasers, special chasers. So even though we have our schedule of what we're doing each and every day, and you have your performances and I have my appointments for work and everything like that, social media has become such a big part of the food and beverage business. So as we wrap it up here, just talk a little bit about, because for me, I see a special on there, I almost feel pressure. I'm like, oh wow, this guy's doing this for this day, or it's only going to be for a couple of days. Like Black Rabbit over in Savannah, they'll have a soup and a sandwich, and it's so popular that the soup might not last 2 days.
That Van Gogh over there is so good. The Black Rabbit in Savannah.
Oh, the
place like I said,
everything is
but
great.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So what was the actual question? Can you clarify
in terms of how, from your perspective, how important is it for these restaurants and these businesses to, and they, a lot of them do a great job with it, but just speak a little on how that folds into your plan of attack, because usually you have a couple of spots that you're intending on hitting, each week or each month. And a lot of that is because of the posts that you're seeing, right? So just any words that you could throw in about what you're looking for. Are you seeing it in the stories? Are you looking at it? You're mostly a Facebook guy, so you're mostly you're seeing these posts that are coming up. Is that a lot what's luring you? Is just the standard Facebook posts?
Oh yeah, a lot of the time. Other than that, it's
Yeah.
just cravings for a certain spot. But yeah, a lot of the times, like Black Sheep, for instance. Yeah, I'll see their story. I'm like, all right, what they got today? And then I'll see, they got a cheesesteak, and I'll go camp out in their parking lot at 10 in the morning.
Right. So you saw
But
the
yeah,
post,
it
and
kind
you're
of
putting that on the
it definitely
itinerary.
plants that that idea for me. And like you say, I mean, Black Sheep got you the other day with the porchetta. So,
Exactly. And
so
I
it's
drove
like,
down, well, the last time that I went to Magnolia Cafe and then ran down to Black Sheep and then back to Magnolia to pick up my food,
yeah,
Sean told me to go hang out at Pigeon Park. So I went over there and I ate. But
nice.
then when I got my porchetta sandwich, I took it a little bit further. And if you go all the way to the end there's that nice little parking lot with a little park over there too.
Oh
So I
yeah,
just sat there in my whatever you call it, solitude, crushing with two hands this crazy porchetta sandwich. And I should also mention, like you said, you have hankerings for certain things.
yeah.
I am 100% the guy that, like I said about tin and tallow, by Tuesday or Wednesday, if I'm out and about and I'm going onto the island for something or coming off, I will look up Tin and Tallow's Facebook page to
Yeah.
find out, okay, well, what's the edition today?
Oh,
A
yeah,
couple months
yeah.
ago, I noticed that Boathouse and Dockside post their daily specials on their website. So I am definitely like a special hunter. You seem to be more of you have a certain destinations that you're going to go to, and yes, you might be lured in by a special here or there, but you kind of have like in your head certain things are coming up in the rotation. Oh, I got to get back to locals
Yeah.
and do that this week, or I got to go back to this. I always like to find out like what the method is with the madness because it's hard, man. There's so much
So much to choose from. Yeah, exactly.
coming at us, and we can't eat all of it, but we do the best we can.
Yeah.
And we got out there as often as we can to support these guys. And they all, the one thing that you can say unanimously is they take the very best care of us. And
really
the
do.
restaurants and the chefs, all the way on down through the teams, they do an incredible job of feeding us. And that's something that, as everybody, the audience knows, is something that I cherish. I hold it near and dear to my heart because a lot of people that don't have restaurant experience or aren't around and peripheral to the industry, they don't realize just how much work and effort and passion goes into putting out that food and feeding those mouths on such a regular basis as they do.
Very well said.
Okay,
Yeah, I
perfect.
agree with that.
I'm parched. I'm starving. My Diet Coke's empty. Before I let you go, let's plug some shit. You got some stuff coming up as always. I mean, you're year round on the calendar with your stuff. So what are a couple of things, a couple of opportunities coming up where people will be able to find you out there doing your thing?
Well, I always highly recommend Fill-In Station. They do a great brunch. I do that every Sunday from about 11 to 2, 11:30 to 2:30 some days, depending on how it's going. And or if the bridge opens, get stuck
Right.
on the bridge. I'm doing Valentine's Day at Cat Island Club. I'm pretty excited
cool.
about that. That's going to be open to the public just for the live music nights and stuff like that, I believe.
That's awesome.
And I'm excited to try their food. My friend Merritt is out there. I played at her wedding a while back, and she's a great chef. I'm really excited to see what's going down.
That's a private club, Cat Island?
Usually, yeah, members.
Okay.
They told me to invite people, so I'm guessing people can come. So,
Speaking of those types of places, have you ever been out to Morgan River Grill? I've had a couple people tell me I need to check that out.
I
dog
played out there one time. I don't remember if I ate or not, but
Okay.
it's a cool spot. A lot of people go to it by boat and stuff,
Right on.
And that's out on Data. So,
Right on.
but yeah. So Valentine's Day, I'm fading fast too, man. I can't think. The best way I would say is to follow me on Facebook. I'm always putting my schedule there, especially if there's something really cool going on. So
yeah.
Fill-In Station, highly recommend.
Yeah, I got to get over there for the breakfast. Check out Campfire Tyler on Facebook, and you'll find out where he's going to be going. Are there any before we shut it down? Are there any food centric events or anything particular that you're looking forward to? Any dinners that have caught your eye, or any festival stuff that you're planning on attending over the next? Because we are just a few weeks away from being in the full throes of festival season, and then we roll right into Heritage, and then it's tourist season. There's not long after that.
Not that I can really think of off the top of my head. I'm almost positive I'm going to get off the call and be like, oh, yeah, that. But
Yeah.
right now, nothing's really ringing any bells. We do, Taste of Beaufort here in Beaufort. I think that's in May. We always got some kind of festivals going on with some food, and I'm always out eating somewhere. So
just like we said, follow Campfire Tyler on Facebook, and he does a great job of chronicling all the stops that he makes from Beaufort all the way down here south of the Broad, and then we're gonna do a return engagement sometime over the next several weeks because he does a lot, like we said, of jaunts up to Charleston and a little bit of eating over in Savannah as well, which is a big hot spot for me, dude. Thank you so much for taking the time. This was a blast.
Thank you, man. Yeah, thanks for having me on. Glad we got around to it finally.
Of course. We really hit a lot of spots.
We
so
did,
I may actually have to listen it back and just make a full comprehensive list because we gave people a lot of work to do. There you have it. We got Campfire Tyler joining us on the Indulgent Hour. Go follow him on Facebook to see where he's going to be playing, where he's going to be eating, and just a real pillar of the community in terms of supporting local businesses, chief and foremost, all of our favorite restaurants, food trucks, and private chefs. That's all we got for tonight, guys. Stay hungry, my friends. We will be back tomorrow with Chef Corey Adams from Nectar in the Surge Group. And then Saturday, I'm going to be interviewing Chef Nilo from the Farm Group and most notably Strange Bird. Have a good night, bro. Stay hungry, y'all.